12th century England, a time of turmoil and uncertainty during the reign of King Stephen. In the quiet village of Woolpit in Suffolk, as the harvest season proceeded as usual, the villagers encountered a sight they would never forget for the rest of their lives. From inside a pit dug to trap wolves, a pair of children emerged. But these were no ordinary children. Their skin was green, like freshly sprouted leaves. The language they spoke was unlike any on earth, and the clothes they wore were made of a strange fabric no one had ever seen before. Who were these children? Where did they come from? This is the incredible story of the Green Children of Woolpit. Were they the last members of a lost people, visitors from the world of fairies, or travelers who had fallen into our world from another dimension entirely? The event took place in the mid-12th century, during the reign of either King Stephen or King Henry II. Villagers working in their fields during the harvest heard strange, wailing sounds coming from the nearby wolf pits. Approaching with curiosity, they couldn't believe their eyes. Inside the pit stood a boy and a girl, but the most shocking part was that their skin was distinctly green. The children were speaking in an incomprehensible language and weeping. The villagers, unsure of what to do, took the children to the manor of the most important man in the village, Sir Richard de Calne. Here they were offered food, but the children refused to touch anything. They starved for days, until one day they saw freshly picked green beans from the garden. The children lunged for the beans, but instead of eating the pods, they broke them open and, seeing they were empty inside, began to cry again. When the villagers showed them how to eat the beans themselves, they survived for some time on nothing but raw green beans. Over time, the children began to get used to other foods, and as they started a normal diet, the strange green color of their skin slowly faded, returning to a normal human complexion. Sadly, the boy was weaker. He became depressed, fell ill, and passed away shortly after being baptized. The girl, however, survived. She regained her health and was baptized with the name Agnes. As the years went by, she learned to speak English. She grew up and even married a man from King's Lynn. But she always carried the mystery of her past within her. The villagers often asked her where she came from, and the story she told made the event even more mysterious. Agnes explained that she and her brother came from a place they called the Land of St. Martin. In this land, the sun never rose, and everything was in a perpetual twilight. Just like them, everyone who lived there had green skin. One day, while they were herding their father's flock, they heard a loud ringing sound and entered a cave. Inside the cave, they followed a mesmerizing light. After a long journey through the cavern, they found themselves at the bottom of the wolf pit in Woolpit. The brightness of the sun and the warmth of the air stunned them. They tried to flee in fear, but could not find their way out of the pit. They remained there until the villagers found them. This story transformed the incident from a simple case of lost children into a tale of passage from another dimension or world. So what could be the truth behind this incredible story? The simplest explanation is that it's a folk tale, or a fairy story that has been exaggerated over time. However, the fact that the event was recorded by two respected chroniclers makes it less likely to be pure fiction. A more realistic historical theory suggests the children were the offspring of Flemish immigrants who had moved to England during that period. a Flemish community lived in the nearby village of Fornham St. Martin. Perhaps these children, after getting lost in a forest, wandered for a long time in underground mines and emerged in Woolpit. The language they spoke could have been a Flemish dialect, and their strange clothes could have been Flemish-style garments. But what about the green skin? This could be a type of anemia, known as chlorosis, or green sickness, caused by severe malnutrition. A poor diet can give the skin a greenish tinge. This might explain why the children only ate beans, and why their color returned to normal with a proper diet. One theory even suggests that arsenic, used by Flemish weavers to dye their wool, could have poisoned the children, turning their skin green. And of course, there is the most fantastical theory, that the children truly came from an underground world or another dimension, just as Agnes described. While this theory cannot be proven, it remains the most fascinating aspect of the story. The story of the Green Children of Woolpit is a perfect blend of history, folklore, and mystery. Were they two orphaned and traumatized immigrant children? Or were they unexpected visitors from a world beyond human imagination? Whatever the truth may be, their story reminds us that even in the most ordinary-looking corners of the world, the most incredible secrets can be hidden. The whisper of two green-skinned children continues to echo through the fields of Woolpit 800 years later.